The service bell rang at Marcus's auto shop at 7:47 a.m. Marcus Williams looked up from under the hood of a '67 Mustang, wiped his hands on a rag that had seen better days, and walked toward the front desk. The man standing there wore a suit that cost more than Marcus made in a month. Rolex on his wrist, Italian leather shoes, the kind of confidence that came from never being told no. Marcus smiled. Professional. Welcoming. "Good morning, sir. How can I help you?" The man looked past him, scanning the shop. "Is the owner here?" "I'm the owner. Marcus Williams." Marcus extended his hand. The man stared at it like it was contaminated. Didn't shake it. "You're the owner?" His voice dripped with disbelief. "Yes, sir. Been running this shop for 8 years. What can I do for you?" The man's lip curled. "I need someone who actually knows what they're doing. Is there another mechanic here? Someone qualified?" Marcus felt the familiar weight settle in his chest. He'd been here before. Different face, same script. "I'm ASE Master Certified, sir. Trained in European performance vehicles, domestic classics, import tuning. Whatever you need, I can handle it." The man laughed. Actually laughed. "Right? And I'm supposed to trust my $200,000 car to you." He looked around again. "This place looks like it fixes lawnmowers, not real vehicles." Marcus kept his voice steady. "What kind of car are we talking about?" 2018 Porsche 911 GT3 RS. "Not that you'd know what that means." The man pulled out his phone, didn't look up. "I need a full performance upgrade. Engine tuning, suspension work, custom exhaust. Real work, not oil changes." "I can do that." "I doubt it." The man finally looked at him. "Look, I'm sure you're great at changing tires or whatever it is you people do, but I need a professional. Someone with actual credentials." Marcus's jaw tightened. "I have credentials, sir. I can show you my certifications, my portfolio, references from clients who drive vehicles just like yours." "References from who?" "Other people from your neighborhood." The man smirked. "I need someone who's worked on real performance cars, not just hood rides with cheap rims." There it was. The line crossed. Marcus took a breath. "Sir, I understand you want quality work. I can provide that. But if you're going to disrespect me in my own shop, you can take your business elsewhere." "Disrespect?" The man stepped closer. "I'm being realistic. You think I'm going to let some affirmative action mechanic touch my $200,000 investment? I worked hard for that car. I'm not letting it get ruined because some diversity hire thinks he knows engines." Marcus's hands clenched, but his voice stayed calm. "What's your name, sir?" "Why? So you can cry discrimination." The man laughed. "It's Robert Chen. And before you start, I'm not racist. I'm practical. I judge people by their competence, not their skin color. And this place," he gestured around, "this doesn't scream competence." Marcus nodded slowly. "Mr. Chun, I'm going to make you an offer." "I don't want your offer. I want a real mechanic." "Hear me out." Marcus walked behind the counter, pulled out a business card. "There's a shop across town. European auto specialists. They charge triple what I do, but they have the fancy waiting room, the espresso machine, all the things that make people like you comfortable." He slid the card across. "Or you can give me one chance. Bring your Porsche here. Let me show you what I can do. If you're not satisfied, the work is free. No charge. No risk." Chun stared at the card, then at Marcus. "Free. Free. Because I know what I'm capable of. And I know you're going to be impressed." Chun laughed again. But there was something else in it now. Curiosity, maybe. Or just the appeal of free work. "Fine. But when you screw it up, I'm suing this dump into the ground." "Fair enough." Marcus wrote down the appointment. "Bring it in Monday morning, 8 a.m. Chun turned to leave, stopped at the door. "Don't make me regret this." He left. Marcus stood there, alone in his shop, surrounded by tools and cars and 8 years of hard work. His phone buzzed. A text from his wife. "How's the morning going?" Marcus typed back. "Just got challenged by another one." "You going to show him?" "Always do. But here's what Robert Chen didn't know. What he couldn't have guessed. Marcus Williams wasn't just a mechanic. He was the mechanic. The one other shops called when they couldn't figure something out. The one performance car owners whispered about in online forums. The one who'd turned down job offers from Ferrari, from Porsche, from BMW's M division. Because Marcus didn't work for them. He worked for himself. In a shop that looked like it fixed lawnmowers. On purpose. Let me tell you who Marcus really was. Because understanding that makes everything else make sense. Marcus grew up in Detroit, Motor City. His father worked the Ford assembly line for 30 years. His grandfather before that. Cars were in his blood before he was born. But Marcus didn't want to build cars on a line. He wanted to understand them. Really understand them. At 12, he took apart his first engine. A small block Chevy from a neighbor's broken-down truck. Laid every piece out on his driveway, studied each one. Figured out how they worked together. Put it back together in 3 days. The truck ran better than it had in years. By 15, he was fixing cars for everyone in the neighborhood. By 18, he had scholarship offers from 3 technical schools. He chose the best one, graduated top of his class, got certified in everything. European, domestic, import, performance, classic, electric. Everything. The job offers came fast. Luxury dealerships, performance shops, racing teams. Marcus turned them all down. Why? His father asked. You could make 6 figures. Work in a clean shop. Have benefits. Because those shops serve rich people who don't respect us, Marcus said. I want to serve our community. People who need help. Not people who need their egos stroked. You can't make money that way, son. Watch me. Marcus opened his shop at 24 years old. Small building, rough neighborhood, no fancy sign. Just Marcus's auto shop in plain letters. The first year was brutal. Barely enough customers to keep the lights on. But Marcus did quality work. Fair prices. Honest assessments. Word spread. By year 3, he had a waiting list. By year 5, people were driving from 3 states away. By year 8, Marcus had built something rare. A shop that served everyone. The single mom whose transmission was dying. The college kid whose Honda needed help. The construction worker whose truck was his livelihood. And quietly, secretly, the wealthy collectors who knew Marcus could do things other mechanics couldn't. He had a second garage. Behind the main shop. Private. That's where he kept the real projects. The Ferrari he'd rebuilt from a burned-out shell. The McLaren he'd tuned to 800 horsepower. The vintage Porsche 911 he'd restored to better than factory condition. Projects he didn't advertise. Didn't post on social media. Didn't brag about. Because Marcus learned something early. Being black and excellent made people uncomfortable. Being black and excellent and visible made people hostile. So he stayed quiet. Let his work speak. Let the people who mattered find him. The others? The Robert Chens of the world? They could learn the hard way. Monday morning, 8:03 a.m. The Porsche arrived on a flatbed truck. Guards read, carbon fiber everywhere, aggressive stance, the kind of car that made people stop and stare. Robert Chen climbed out of a Tesla that followed behind. Careful with it, he barked at the driver. It's worth more than your house. Marcus walked out, clipboard in hand. Morning, Mr. Chun. Chun looked around like he was entering a crime scene. This is a mistake. I should take it to a real shop. You're here now. Might as well see what happens. The Porsche rolled off the truck. Even in Marcus's rough parking lot, it looked like art. Chun handed him a folder. Here's what I want. Full list. Engine tune for 550 horsepower. Adjustable coilovers. Custom titanium exhaust. Carbon ceramic brake upgrade. And I want it done right. Marcus scanned the list. This is about $40,000 in parts and labor. I know what it costs. You sure you want to risk that on someone like me? Marcus looked up. Chen's face reddened. Just don't screw it up. When do you need it? 2 weeks. I'll have it done in 10 days. Chen laughed. Right? A real shop would take a month. I'm not a real shop, remember? I'm just some guy from the neighborhood. Marcus smiled. Keys. Chun hesitated. then handed them over. If there's one scratch, one mistake, one thing wrong, you'll sue me. I remember. Marcus pocketed the keys. I'll call you when it's ready. Chun left in his Tesla. Marcus stood there, looking at the Porsche. His assistant, Jamie, walked over. Young white kid, 22, studying mechanical engineering. You really going to do this for free? If he's not satisfied, yeah. He's not going to be satisfied. Guys like that are never satisfied. Marcus ran his hand along the Porsche's hood. Then I guess I'll have to make it impossible not to be. What are you planning? You'll see. That night, after the shop closed, Marcus moved the Porsche into his private garage, the space where he did his real work. He didn't just want to meet Chen's specifications. He wanted to exceed them, destroy them, make the car so perfect that Chun couldn't deny what Marcus was capable of. He started with diagnostics, hooked the Porsche up to his computer, ran every test, checked every system. The car was in decent shape, but Marcus saw room for improvement. Everywhere. The engine tune Chin wanted, Marcus could do better. Not just 550 horsepower. He could get 580 without sacrificing reliability. The suspension? Marcus had connections with a company that made custom coilovers for GT3 race cars. He called in a favor. The exhaust? Marcus knew a fabricator who worked with Formula One teams. Another favor. The brakes? Marcus didn't just upgrade them. He rebuilt the entire brake system. Better calipers, better rotors, better fluid. Track ready. But Marcus didn't stop there. He noticed the Porsche's alignment was off. Fixed it. The differential fluid was old. Changed it. The interior had wear marks. Detailed it. Every imperfection, every inefficiency, every compromise. Marcus addressed it. 10 days. 12-hour days. Sometimes longer. Jamie helped, learning, watching Marcus work with a precision that bordered on obsession. Why do you care this much? Jamie asked on day 7. He insulted you, called you incompetent. Why prove him right by giving him more than he paid for? Marcus was under the car, adjusting the suspension. I'm not doing this for him. Then who? For me. For my father. For every black mechanic who was told they weren't good enough. He slid out, looked at Jamie. When people like Chun look at me, they see a stereotype. They see limitations. They see someone who doesn't belong near their precious cars. So you're trying to change his mind? No. Marcus stood, grabbed a wrench. I'm trying to make it impossible for him to deny reality. When this car is perfect, when it's better than anything he could have gotten anywhere else, he'll have to admit that his assumptions were wrong. You think that'll change him? Probably not. But it'll change the next person he tells the story to. And the person after that. Change doesn't happen in one moment. It happens in 1,000 small moments. This is one of them. Day 10. 6:47 p.m. Marcus stepped back from the Porsche. It sat in his garage. Guard's red paint gleaming under the lights. Every modification complete. Every system perfect. He'd done it. Not just met the specifications. Exceeded them. The engine produced 585 horsepower. Dyno tested, verified. The suspension was dialed in for both street comfort and track performance. The exhaust note was perfect. Aggressive but refined. The brakes could stop the car from 60 miles per hour in under 100 feet. Marcus took photos. Documented everything. Then he made a call. Mr. Chan? Your car is ready. Silence. Already? It's only been 10 days. I told you 10 days. But, Chun sounded suspicious. What did you actually do? Did you skip steps? Come see for yourself. Tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. I'll be there. Chun hung up. Marcus looked at Jamie. Get the camera ready. I want everything recorded. You think he's going to cause trouble? I think he's going to try. And I want proof of what really happened. Tuesday, 9 a.m. Robert Chin arrived in his Tesla, this time with someone else. A man in a suit carrying a briefcase. That's his lawyer, Jamie whispered. Marcus nodded. Expected. Chin walked in, didn't greet Marcus. Just looked around. Where's my car? In the back. Follow me. Marcus led them to the private garage. Hit the lights. The Porsche sat there, perfect, gleaming, transformed. Chun froze. His lawyer stopped beside him. Is that... Chun couldn't finish. Marcus handed him the folder. Complete documentation. Every modification, every part, every test result. The engine is producing 585 horsepower, 35 more than you requested. The suspension is custom-tuned to your weight and driving style. The exhaust is titanium, hand-fabricated. The brakes are race spec. Chun took the folder, didn't open it, just stared at the car. You did all this in 10 days? Yes, sir. That's impossible. It's documented. Time-stamped photos, video, receipts, all in the folder. Marcus walked to the Porsche, ran his hand along the hood. I also fixed your alignment, changed your differential fluid, detailed the interior, and recalibrated your tire pressure monitoring system. No extra charge. Chen's lawyer opened the folder, started reading. His eyes widened. This is remarkable work. It's competent work, Marcus corrected. The kind you'd expect from someone qualified. Chen finally looked at him. Really looked. He stopped. Started again. I don't understand. What don't you understand? How did you? Chen gestured helplessly. Those shops across town, the expensive ones, they quoted me a month. Minimum. And you? I did it in 10 days. To a higher standard. For free. Chen's face went through several emotions. Confusion. Disbelief. Something that might have been shame. Why? Because you assumed I couldn't. And I wanted to prove that your assumptions were wrong. Marcus stepped closer. Mr. Chun, I'm not asking for an apology. I'm not asking you to feel bad. I'm asking you to remember this moment. The next time you look at someone and decide what they're capable of based on how they look, remember this car. Remember that you were wrong. Silence. Chen's lawyer cleared his throat. Mr. Williams, this is extraordinary. The documentation alone is... He shook his head. I've worked with luxury shops for years. I've never seen this level of detail. Thank you. Marcus handed Chun the keys. Your car is ready. No charge as promised. Chun took the keys. His hand was shaking. I want to pay you. You can't afford what this is worth. Try me. Marcus pulled out an invoice. The real one. The one that reflected the actual value of the work. $47,000. Parts and labor. Chun looked at the number. Didn't flinch. I'll write you a check right now. I don't want your money, Mr. Chun. Then what do you want? Marcus thought about it. About his father on the assembly line. About his shop serving the neighborhood. About every person who'd looked at him and seen limitations. I want you to tell people what happened here. I want you to tell them that you walked into this shop thinking I was incompetent. That you insulted me, dismissed me, judged me. And that I proved you wrong. He met Chen's eyes. I want you to be honest about your assumptions and about what you learned. Chen stood there, holding the keys to his transformed Porsche, facing a truth he couldn't deny. I was wrong. His voice was quiet. I'm sorry. Apology noted. Marcus walked to the garage door, opened it. Your car is ready, Mr. Chen. Drive safe. Chen got in the Porsche, started it. The exhaust note was perfect. Deep, aggressive, refined. He revved it once. The engine responded instantly. Smooth, powerful. He looked at Marcus through the window. This is the best work I've ever seen. I know. Chen drove away. His lawyer stayed behind. Mr. Williams, I'd like to hire you. For what? I have clients, collectors, people with cars worth millions. They need someone they can trust. Someone with your skill level. I don't work for rich people. You just did. The lawyer smiled. And you did it better than anyone I've ever seen. Name your price. Marcus thought about it. About the single moms and college kids and construction workers who needed his help. About the community he served. I'll take your clients, but only if they treat me with respect. First sign of disrespect, I'm done. No second chances. Fair enough. The lawyer handed him a card. I'll be in touch. He left. Jamie came over, grinning. Dude, that was incredible. It was necessary. What happens now? Marcus looked around his shop. At the tools and the cars and the life he'd built. Now we get back to work. Mrs. Johnson's Camry needs a transmission. That's more important than any Porsche. 3 weeks later, Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. Marcus's auto shop. Mr. Williams? This is David Park. Robert Chin gave me your number. What can I do for you, Mr. Park? I have a 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB. It needs a complete restoration. Every shop I've contacted says it'll take 2 years and cost $500,000. Chun says you can do it faster and better. Marcus smiled. Mr. Park, I don't know what Mr. Chin told you, but I need to be clear about something. What's that? I'm just a guy from the neighborhood who fixes cars. Nothing special. Are you comfortable with that? Silence. Then laughter. Mr. Chin warned me you'd say something like that. He also said you're the best mechanic he's ever met. And that he was an idiot for not seeing it immediately. He said that. His exact words were, I judged a book by its cover and almost missed out on a masterpiece. Marcus leaned back in his chair. When can you bring the Ferrari by? 6 months later, Marcus's shop looked the same. Same rough building. Same plain sign. Same neighborhood. But the client list was different. Word had spread, quietly, through the circles of people who owned cars worth more than houses. They came to Marcus, not because of his fancy waiting room or espresso machine, because of his work. Robert Chin became a regular client, brought every car he owned, never questioned Marcus's expertise again. But more than that, he told his story. At car meets, at country clubs, in boardrooms. About the day he judged a mechanic by his skin color and learned the most expensive lesson of his life. Some people changed their behavior after hearing it. Some didn't, but the story spread. And slowly, other shops started treating their black mechanics differently. Started promoting them. Started listening to them. One story. One car. One moment of transformation. Marcus never advertised it. Never posted about it. Never sought recognition. He just kept working, kept serving his community, kept being excellent, because that's what his father taught him. That's what his grandfather taught him. Excellence doesn't need validation. It just needs to exist. And eventually the right people notice. The people who matter. The people who are willing to learn. Robert Chen was one of them. And that made all the difference. So here's the question. Have you ever judged someone before knowing their story? Have you ever assumed someone wasn't capable based on how they looked? Have you ever been that person? The one who had to learn the hard way? Drop your answers in the comments. And if the story moved you, share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear that excellence doesn't require permission. That competence doesn't need approval. That being underestimated is just an opportunity to prove people wrong. Subscribe to Beat Stories. Because the truth has a way of revealing itself, even when people don't want to see it. This has been Beat Stories. Stay just